Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Ask Cap'n Jster. I'm sitting here in a hotel in Kansas City. I'm supposed to be at home, but it was weather over Chicago. Boston's clearing a million. I'm going from Boston to Chicago. 3.5 hour delay. I get there, they changed my trip twice, and now instead of being at home on my own bed, I am in Kansas City at the hotel. Anyway, that's just what happens in this industry. And this question today on Ask Cap'n Jster comes from Sean Mr. Fix-It Lee. He wants to know about jack screws and what's the deal with jack screws. Took me a second there to even remember back on that because that's a old archaic thing. The jack screw is a thing in the back of the airplane that works on the horizontal tail. And what happens is the horizontal tail is in a specific position for takeoff and for landing. And when you change that, you want it to change either up or down, and that changes how the aircraft performs, either nose up or nose down. Now, the problem that they had with those is that every now and then they break. And when they break, that horizontal tail is absolutely nothing you can do with it. That's typically, when you hear about that, that was on the MD-80s. The MD-80s are airplanes that are old, just like we were talking about 737s. These are the same vintage airplanes. They've been flying way too long. They are parking them now. The people who haven't parked them, they are in the process of parking them and replacing them with new airplanes. Anyway, the way that works is that the jack screw is something, when you trim it, it moves that horizontal tail to a specific point and it stays there. Now the rest of the time is controlled with the elevator, which is on the back. And that's when you see the guys using the yoke, or in my case a stick, that works the part on the back. Your trim wheel, which is the thing that's going to move that jack screw to move it to a neutral position, if you will. If that does break though, you're not strong enough as a human to be able to hold an 80-ton aircraft with the forces to keep that thing flying. And they've had a couple of them break, and then you don't make it out of that. So anyway, the jack screws is old technology. They've got bigger and better things now that they use. But anyway, thank you, Sean, Mr. Fix-It Lee, for that question, and I hope that kind of sheds a little bit of light on it. Now, a couple of things. Also, I wanted to discuss a lot of the myths that I hear. One of the myths that I hear is that pilot was a bad pilot, he landed on one wheel. Well, he may be a bad pilot, but that's not why. When you fly any type of airplane in a crosswind, the airplane now will fly sideways toward the runway if you're landing with a crosswind. And the way the commercial airliners are not stressed to do that. When I flew F-16s, that landing gear was stressed to do that. And we would land what you call in a crab. So the airplane would be coming down sideways, relatively speaking, sideways, and it would land in a crab and then straighten itself out. On a commercial airliner, the landing gear is not stressed for that. So what you have to do is you have to decrab it. As it's coming down in the crab, you have to decrab the airplane to line it up with the runway. But the wind would blow you off. So you have to dip your wing into the wind for lack of a better term, it's a little bit of turn that's going on, to keep the airplane straight down the runway. And you will land on one of the mains, one side of the mains. So anytime you have a crosswind landing, if the guy's doing it right, you will land on one wheel. You're not just a bad pilot. Thank you for those questions. And now, the tip of the day.
Tip of the day, tip of the day, tip of the day.
Okay, guys, if you are bald and you decide to get yourself a toupee, that's cool. Do me a huge favor and get a good toupee. Save your money up if you have to. But don't let me in one terminal be able to spot your bird's nest on your head in the next terminal over. Save up your money, get a good one, or just do like me. Just go natural, guys. My boys tease me all the time about my hairline. They say it looks like an M for McDonald's, or my cousin said that. My boys just say you get a, what do? No toupee for me, you just all natural. Anyway, go bald naturally, gracefully, or get a good toupee. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the tip of the day. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. Keep those cards and letters coming, and we'll see you on the next Ask Cap'n Jster.